What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And Maul.
podcast, episode 21. Hope everybody's having a good day Wednesday morning. Uh, it's been a crazy week, crazy weekend. Weird games went on yesterday.
Mhm.
Um, Overall, crazy sports weekend, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about off sports. So,
Yeah.
what's going
Mhm.
on, Ma? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I was sick for a couple days there, man, but I'm back to 100. You know what I mean? Did that, herbal stuff, man.
Hmm.
not
Sure.
taking pills, but overall, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. College football recap.
Let's do it.
Um, a lot of crazy games this week. We always gonna start with Colorado. They had a 29-0 lead at halftime and ended up losing in overtime. What 43 to or
But it's
46,
43-49, 43-49, something like that. It was
something
OT.
like that. They
Or
lost it
46-44.
overtime. They blew a lead and wasn't one of the better showings in the second half. A lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes. And when you're a team like Colorado who have the deficiencies that they have, you can't you can't recover from penalties. Like you can't have penalties and stuff like that. Like you got to play clean football, and
Hmm.
that's something that they didn't do in the second half. And unfortunately, they suffered a third loss in a row. Now, this is not me killing Colorado because at the end of the day, the program is better than what it was last year, and we do see the future that we feel like this program will be better, especially next year. Coming into next year, when they get some 5-star, 4-star recruits on that defensive line, offensive line, get some more guys, receivers, corners, you know what I'm saying? Some people in that secondary. I think that, what I'm saying, they'll be able to compete with the Oregons. They'll be able to compete with or, whenever they go to was it the Big 12, Big 10 they're going to, um, they'll be able to compete with some of the top tier, Power Five teams. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I learned some stuff today where, like, I guess Shador posted something during halftime or something like that. So obviously that wasn't really a good look, you know.
yeah.
I fell asleep. Like it was 29-0, man. I was like, oh, they got in the bag. Stanford ain't that good. But I woke up. It was 46-43. I think they won it on a. I think it was like they were in double overtime or triple overtime. Dude kicked the field goal. I think Shador threw a pick on their turn. Nah, man, they're gonna go through their bumps. It was. You got some people calling it like very devastating loss and all that. I think at the end of the day, man, you're gonna go through some hardships. I think it's gonna give Dion more of an insight who is really worth continuing to play and who as he likes to use the term dogs in them. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to bounce right back off a tough loss that you guys off what they should have won. So yeah, man. Yeah, it was pretty bad as far as on that. And the other game that I was also intrigued was also you had the USC Notre Dame.
Hmm.
Caleb Williams didn't look too good. You know what I mean? That offense, our offense didn't look too good. He had about 3 picks. A couple of them were pretty ugly. I think Caleb was just trying to do too much.
Too
In a
much.
big game because his defense isn't really gonna. Which
Hmm.
for the most part, I think in the beginning the defense wasn't playing too bad in the beginning, but overall Notre Dame just kind of just with all the turnovers and stuff and the amount of possessions that they had, you could just see the defense starting to wear down overall. So yeah, I thought that was pretty pretty bad for them.
And I think Notre Dame needed that game more. Not to
Yeah.
say it did more, but it needed it more than USC because they just came off of back-to-back tough losses. One to
Hmm.
Ohio State, and then who they lose to last week? They lost to
Oh,
somebody.
they lost to
Close one.
Louisville. They lost to
Louisville,
Louisville. Yeah,
and a
in
close
Louisville.
one.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
lost two close, games, and they needed that win. You know
No,
what I'm
they
saying?
did. They
So,
did.
so I think and overall, we all know USC's defense isn't that good, and I mean they have spurts, where they look good, and they do it just enough to win the game,
Hmm.
but unfortunately, they don't have a potent defense, and unfortunately, Caleb Williams has to. He feels like he got to do too much and be superhero to win the game for them. And you know, you don't want to put that type of pressure on your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's some dogs out there that can go do that, but you don't want to have that every game. You know what I'm saying? You want some games where, you just play efficient offense and your defense can, make some stops and you win the game.
Yeah. So how bad do you think the way he looked, how bad do you think that impacted his Heisman
Oh, I
chances?
think think I think his Heisman is. He would have to like. Who I don't know who else is on their schedule next, but the next game, he had to be damn near perfect
Like the
to get
next
that
big
done.
game they have. I
Yeah,
think they do play like I think they do play Washington. I think they play Washington. I don't know. Let me check.
if they
Um
play Washington, he would have to smoke Penix because Penix is in the lead to me right
yeah, I was gonna say like who do you think is in the lead for the
now.
Heisman right
I
now?
think Penix is in the lead right now.
Phoenix, yeah. You know what I mean? Like we could go into that game, Oregon and Washington. Like that was a really good game. I thought Oregon played really good, man.
They
Oregon's
did.
a tough team. I don't know how far they dropped. Me personally, I wouldn't drop them too far. You know what
Because
I mean? I
both of them
think
was what 7 and 8, right? One's 7, one's 8.
one was
So
7-0, one was I think one was 8-0 or something like that. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
saying
know.
on their
They're
ranking,
both undefeated or something like that.
but on the
Oh, you talking about
rankings,
rankings?
one was 7 and one was 8,
I
right?
think Washington was 7, and then Oregon was 8. I think.
So I mean, yeah, they might need to flip flop.
Yeah, yeah. So USC does play Washington. They play on the 4th. So they
So,
do, and
so yeah,
USC, and
yeah,
then they
Caleb,
play Oregon. Then they play Oregon right after that. So he still
he
has
would
a
have to
shot.
show out. Yeah, he would have to
Caleb
show
Williams
out
still has
on
a
both of
shot.
them.
Yeah,
He would have to outplay Bo Nix, and he would have to outplay. And of course, they had to win, but he would have to outplay both of them in those games. He
yeah,
would
for
definitely.
sure. I think Caleb Williams probably slipped down a couple spots.
Mhm.
He might be probably like third. Not too many because it's honestly when you think about it, who else would be in the top 3 as far as like Heisman? You would have Michael Penix. Maybe the guy from Oklahoma, the quarterback from Oklahoma, he had that big game
Yeah,
against Texas.
maybe. Yeah,
I don't know. I guess Bowers, but Bowers is probably
he's
out.
hurt.
He
Yeah, he's
hurt.
out. He had to get ankle surgery. That's
Right.
it.
Marvin Harrison Jr. started off slow, but he's coming on pretty strong
Yeah,
here
I
now.
think he
So
could be up there. He could be up there too.
yeah, I think it's pretty much. Well, I guess you could probably put Bo Nix up there too. Bo Nix has
Yeah,
been doing really well as well. I don't want to dismiss him. As I said with that game, Oregon honestly really showed me a lot. I thought Oregon was going to get waxed because usually in big games, Oregon really never shows up in these
you
games.
know.
But they
Yeah.
actually have a somewhat respectable defense. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So as I said, I don't think they should drop too far. I think they should still have a shot to make it to the top 4. Because got some big games coming up this week. But yeah, Washington, man, they look really good, man. I think they should have the opportunity to be top 4 this week. I said I'm not really sure what the rankings are. I don't know. I forgot when they posted. But yeah, I thought they did good. Penn State, I know they played Massachusetts, but 63 nothing. They dominated. They got a big game coming up this week that everybody should be watching with Ohio State. I think they play
Yeah,
in Ohio State.
it's gonna be a good
So
game.
that's going to be a really good game. I low key favor Penn State in that one. I think Penn State is a really, really good team. I think their defense is solid. Their offense is really good. I love my boy Marvin Harrison. You know what I mean? I think he's going to show out, but I think Penn State should definitely, I think they should be the favorites of that.
Where are they playing at?
I think it's Ohio State, but I've seen Penn State go into Ohio State and beat
Yeah,
them before, so it's nothing new. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a really good game. I don't see nobody getting blown out here. I think it'll be a closely contested game, but I think the Penn State defense is just a little bit better
yeah.
than what their offense is doing. I still don't have too much faith in that quarterback that they had. Like he has some
Mm,
spotty moments. He does have great receivers around him, so it does help and a really good
right.
running game. So. It should be good. I think I don't know if it's a night game or early game. I think it's an early game. So maybe that might help Ohio State with that. But it's not too much really of a time zone difference. But
Um, I want to give a shout out to the Alabama quarterback McElroy.
yeah, he played pretty good. Yeah.
I think he's starting to get it. He's starting to come around. You gotta remember he's a young guy. So I think next year you can look at Alabama possibly returning back to prominence. I think they had to take a step back to go forward.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those programs sometimes they lose a lot of players, and they got to figure themselves out. But I think finally Nick Saban's got this team figured out. He's finally got his quarterback because they was doing 2 quarterback system, and
Mm-hmm.
that never works. Even in college, it never works. But
No, yeah.
um, I think he's finally the game is starting to slow down to him a little bit. And, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Alabama's always going to be in the mix. Say what you want about Alabama, they're always going to be in the mix. So
Nah. I second agree. I second to that. The other game I was really curious to watch was to see how Miami responded after that devastating loss that their coach gave them
it's the ball.
against UNC, and
They lost, didn't
they lost. They lost 31-41. It looked like they're playing strong in the first half, but I don't know.
they?
UNC, like Drake May is, he's up there with Caleb Williams. No, that's another person. I think Drake May.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
He's up
honestly,
there. Heisman,
I think he's up there. I think he could go Drake May
especially
and
with this win. Especially
yeah,
with this win.
and Penix. I think you can see that being a close game. And
Mhm.
I'm not gonna forget my man from Florida State either. I think he's up there too. So you still got some names up there. I think
Travis Porter.
Travis Porter, yeah. So yeah, man. I was really I wanted to see how they responded. Miami, did loss. I'm kind of curious to see with that loss, do they just start racking up these losses now? Like, did he lose his kids, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah,
Mm,
Georgia 37-20 against Vandy. But the big news is Brock Bowers is going to have ankle
yeah.
surgery. He has a high ankle sprain.
So
So
we'll
he's
see
going to
how
be out,
that.
I think, for the rest of the regular season. So he probably won't be back until the playoffs at the soonest. How big of a loss you think that's going to be for Georgia?
It's huge. He's their offense, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they got the other one receiver over there, but other than that, like, it's not like they lost a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying over there. So in the draft, so they got a lot of young kids. Of course, they're 5-star recruits, so they got they're gonna be good. But I'm just Brock Bowers was the guy.
Yeah, no, and they got some games coming up. Like I think they got Florida coming up here. That should be a win. And they play your boys, Missouri, on the
Which had a
fourth.
good, who had a great win against Kentucky. That
You
was
know
a
what I mean?
very
So you
big
got
win.
that, and then they
Got to
got
bounce back.
Ole Miss on the 11th, and then they got another big one with Tennessee on the 18th. So it could be a chance they could lose lose maybe one game. You know what I mean? I think if they lose one game, I think it'll be hard for them to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I feel like they always want an SEC team in that playoff. So you never know with that one. But yeah, you never know, man. Maybe if Alabama keep winning these wins, maybe they might go into a SEC championship game for a chance to go into the playoffs. So Alabama might not be out.
Yeah,
If they keep
yeah.
winning.
And like I said, it's a big opportunity for Mizzou too. If they can catch Georgia now without a Brock Bowers and get that dub, that'll be huge for Missouri. So
Well, I know it's a couple weeks away, but what chance? I'm sure we'll talk about it more when it comes up closer. But right now, what kind of chance do you give them against Georgia right now from what you see?
I give them like a 30-40% chance because
Okay,
I
okay.
think our offense can score with Georgia.
Mhm.
Last year they couldn't. I mean, and they gave Georgia last year. They gave Georgia, and Georgia was 10 times better.
Yeah.
They gave Georgia a run for their money last year. They almost
Mhm.
beat them. They just, for whatever reason, the coach wanted to throw the football all down the field when the running back was killing Georgia. He was running up and down the field on them. He just
Okay.
stopped running the football, and then Georgia just did enough to win the game. So definitely, they with this Georgia team, I think they have a bigger chance.
And that's even if they had Brock Bowers or before, after the injury.
If he had Brock Bowers, I would say about 25-30%. But
20%.
without, it's like 30-40%.
So about a 10% increase without Brock
Yeah,
Bowers. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. Michigan. We're going to Michigan. Michigan won 52-7 against Indiana. I said Michigan hasn't really played anybody. I don't think they play anybody until later on, closer to the end of the year. I still think they're the best team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think Penn State can give them a run of the money. I'm not sure if they play them. Let me check. But
I think they do.
let me check. Let me see. So they got Michigan State. They should win that. Yeah, they actually do. They play the 11th early morning game in Penn State. So that should be a really big game.
November 11th?
November 11th, Michigan
My
versus Penn State. Yeah, so that should be a really good game, early morning game. Yeah. So a couple weeks, man, we'll definitely see, who's the best in that. I think those two teams are the best in that conference. So I think that's gonna be a huge game, depending on how Penn State comes out of this Ohio State game. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one. outcome's gonna be good.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
But what they got next week? So it's Penn State, Ohio State next week, Tennessee, Alabama, Duke, Florida State plays next week. I don't is old boy back from Duke?
Who?
The quarterback, the one that hurt his ankle.
I have no idea.
Yeah. And then Utah versus USC. So USC goes into another big battle. So see how Cam Williams looks. It's in LA, so should be a benefit to them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's go to the NFL.
Let's do it.
Week 6 recap. We could get to our teams at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's talk about it. So Ravens go to London to play the Titans. I think the Ravens had pretty much control of this game for the most part. It was close at the end, but you know, Lamar Jackson made a few plays and won the game. Pretty much.
Yeah. Malik Willis, bro. I said I'll try to root for you, bro, but you look bad in that game, man. And Ryan Tannehill hurt his ankle again. He's had so many ankle injuries. We have more ankle injuries than
getting old, man.
All right, I'm gonna ask you this: when is Will Levis time, dog? You think Will Levis plays? That's your boy. You think Will Levis plays? Mr. Mayo? You think Mr. Mayo plays sometime soon?
Do not put that evil on me.
I'm saying that's your boy, man.
That is not my boy.
When do you think you see him?
They would have to be like they're out of playoff contention because they still somewhat in it.
What's the record now?
Hold on.
I think they almost out. What, they got 1 or 2 wins?
Maybe 2 wins. But right now in this AFC, yeah.
Look, if you got Malik Willis as your starting quarterback going forward, who knows how long Ryan Tannehill is going to be out? You might as well just start tanking at this point. Start trading assets.
They're last in their division for sure. So they're 2-4. So
2-4. Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe a few more losses, and then we get to see the Will Levis show.
Do you think we'll ever see Odell Beckham have a good game? A good game this year?
Brother, I think that thing is over.
You think it's a wrap?
I think it's over. No disrespect to Odell Beckham, man. At one time, he was great, but sometimes them leg injuries is just too much, bro. And I just don't see it.
Like honestly, I know they signed some receivers. I know they drafted Zay Flowers. Nelson Aguilar. He's kind of like hit or miss. Like he's either going to catch for 100 yards or he's going to drop like 2 big TDs. You know what I'm saying? And then Odell, he just can't stay healthy. Like Mark Andrews is still there. Like it looks like the same as last year to me. The play calling looks the same as last year. I think there was a time where they were in the red zone. I think they ran 3 straight times. I think they did like a Lamar Jackson kind of like sweep, which was a terrible play call. I don't think they even gave their receivers a chance. Maybe they just don't trust them no more. But I thought it was the whole reason to get rid of Greg Roman because he ran the ball too damn much. You know what I mean? They never gave the receivers the actual chances to make plays. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it looks the same. But yeah, it just Odell doesn't look like. We're not expecting New York Giants Odell, but we was at least expecting Rams Odell.
Yeah, right.
And if they got Rams Odell, he would still. I don't know. It just he looked like he can't get separation right now. It's just, yeah. And like you said, he's in and out of the lineup with injuries. It's just.
You think he even trusts his body anymore?
I don't know.
It's hard to get into a man's mind, but
it's
just the way he plays, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the same. It don't look the same. It don't. It don't look the same. Zay Flowers right now is their best receiver.
Yeah, and I think Zay Flowers is going to be really good. But I think they got to just get more creative with getting him the ball. Whether it's kind of like doing like some reverses or doing some screen passes, jet sweeps, and some slants, something. But at this point, you can't just keep going run heavy Mark Andrews. Like, I think they got to give it. Like, Zay Flowers can put up numbers. Like, I really believe this man, that young man is talented as hell. So they need to find a way to get him the ball. Like they need to get more creative with their offense because their offense looks so like 2001 to me at this point with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean their defense is still good, but
yeah, for sure. But that offense should be way more creative with the likes of Lamar Jackson, man. You should do a combination with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. I get it; they don't have like a solid running game. In a sense, Lamar Jackson is your running game, but you can incorporate Zay Flowers into that running game if you can figure something out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know he's a smaller guy, so you don't want to run him in between the tackles, but there's stuff that the Chiefs are doing, there's stuff that the Lions are doing that you can, it's a copycat league. These people are stealing plays from everybody. You know what I mean? They need to figure something out.
I agree. So the Dolphins, at first, they were sleepwalking at the wheel.
Yeah, I know it's 14-9. I was like, what the hell
they was playing the Panthers, so they thought they could just show up.
Yeah.
And then they got punched in the mouth real quick, and it was like, we gotta play football, y'all.
Yeah.
Then after that, they woke up and they just smoked them. Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't have to tell you that.
Without Devon Achane, boy, that offense is nasty, boy. And then I saw some. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying they still potent. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And then I heard some things about Jalen Ramsey trying to come back sooner. So I think that will help. They already said Devon Achane will be back right after the 4-week IR thing. So they're going to be explosive. I also saw another story where Frank Wright gave up OC. Yeah. So what do you think about that? You think that will help Bryce Young?
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the OC.
I'm not. He's a young guy. I think this is his first time being OC. So he's a young. He's like 37 years old. So he's like a young dude. But you never know. Yeah. Them young. We see in the NFL now. These young fresh minds. They have a new outlook on offense, especially on the offensive side of football.
Yeah.
They're more creative. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that old school look. And maybe he can get a little bit more creative with Bryce Young and this offense and do more things. And because, you see spurts in the Panthers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're not a good team. So, of course, they're going to lose to a better team like the Dolphins or whatever. But you've seen spurts. Do they need they need some explosion on that offense? They got a lot of, possession receivers over there. They need
Should never got rid of DJ Moore ass. They should have never got rid of DJ
They need to take the top off the defense type of guy. So
all right. So after the games we've seen so far, what's your kind of assessment of Bryce? I get it's his rookie year. We're not holding him to the fire at all. But as far as what you've seen so far, what's your kind of thoughts about Bryce Young so far in the season?
It's hard to get an assessment when you got a bad team around you, though. I'm not gonna hold. It was just like with C.J. Stroud. It was just like with Anthony Richardson. I wasn't gonna hold this season against them because I understand, man. It's people don't take into account, man, that it's a lot, man, to succeed in the NFL. You gotta have good coaching, and you gotta have at least something around you, whether it be great coaching, even if your parts are mediocre. If you got a good coach, the good coach can get the best out of those mediocre parts and at least make you 500, at least give you 500 record and get you to the playoffs. Now, if you have a great quarterback that can, elevate that talent around him, then, that's one thing. But, I'm surprised the way C.J. Stroud looked. I thought C.J. Stroud was going to struggle just like Bryce Young. But kudos to DeMeco Ryans and what he's got going over there. C.J. Stroud looks like, he's going to be rookie of the year. You know what I'm saying? And they could sneak in and backdoor into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. So
yeah. Hearing C.J. Stroud's name after I saw a report come out a couple of days ago really pisses me off now. I don't know if you saw it. There was a report saying that the Raiders were trying to trade up for the number one to get fucking C.J. Stroud. And they didn't accept the trade. They went with the Carolina Panthers. C.J. Stroud should be in a fucking Raiders jersey.
Damn. Sorry.
All right, we're going to get to my team. I'll talk about then. What's the next game you like to talk about?
Jacksonville came to life. Their offense was starting to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? These past 2 weeks, they're starting to get it now. Got to monitor Trevor Lawrence. He did get hurt in that game.
I think they said it was like a knee sprained knee injury or something.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna play this week? They play Thursday.
No. Well, I don't know. Who they play.
They play the Saints on Thursday.
He might play. He might. He'll be
Depends on how bad
limited.
it is. It looked like he was walking around kind of fine
Yeah.
at the end of the game. So
I mean, I could see him playing. I can see him. If it's nothing too serious, I could see him playing. Bengals squeak by the Seahawks.
I'm not impressed with the Bengals, bro. They should have lost that game.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That offensive line didn't help Geno at all that last
It
drive,
didn't.
man.
They was killing Geno Smith, man. Like,
yeah,
if he had a few more seconds, they would have won that game. Like, I don't know, man.
They did. Like Bengals, I'm not impressed at all. And then that whole thing between Devin Witherspoon and Jamar Chase. Devin Witherspoon won because I don't think Jamar Chase caught a ball the whole time. Bro was on him. So chalk it up to Devin. Another player that the Raiders might have could have got is doing well. Oh my God, bro. You can't make this up. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the Bengals either. Like, their offense is just looks bad. Like, you know, and I know Burrows looks more healthy. It looks like he's getting healthy, but even with him getting more healthy, it's just like
I just think they need a running game, dog. They really
Mixon,
do. Like Mixon is just not it right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's going through some injury problems or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that offensive line still has problems. I think sometimes it gets Jamar Chase heavy. You know what I mean? I think that offense needs to get a little bit more creative, man. You got too many weapons, man. You got Taj, you got Boyd, you got Higgins. Higgins came back. I think he only had like 2 catches the whole game. Maybe they're trying to ease him in with the rib injury and stuff like that. But my God, man, you just can't go Jamar Chase heavy. And I think that I know we're going to talk about this game later, but the Eagles is the same way. They just took AJ Brown heavy.
Well, the one thing about I say about the Bengals, and you could chalk up the Eagles too, is that this is something my Chiefs ran into when we had Tyreek Hill. Is like they get so you get so enamored with, oh, I got this piece, this weapon, and so I'm gonna find a way to get this dude the ball, and that's fine, but you also got to understand that these defensive coordinators get paid too.
I got it.
And I said this on my Chiefs podcast. I think defenses have caught up to most of these offenses, other than like the Dolphins. And even the Dolphins have scored 20 points this year. Like, I think these defensive coordinators are starting to catch up to some of these offenses. That's why you don't see a lot of high-scoring games. Like this weekend, it was a lot of unders. You know what I'm saying? These defensive coordinators are starting to catch up to these offenses, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of these people just take the speed. No, there's speed on the other side, too. Like, these corners are getting younger and faster, man. Like,
no, I agree. I think you kind of sell your team a little short because they did have the Kelsey part to it. Kelsey was just getting as much targets as Tyreek Hill, so I think it leveled itself out as far as the passing game. Y'all know you guys are allergic to running the goddamn ball. You know that for a fact. You guys are kind of hit and miss right now. But overall, I get what you're saying. I think in the sense of the Dolphins speed is just, you're not going to match that speed, bro. They got elite speed across the board. Like Devon Achane and Tyreek Hill might be and Waddle and even Raheem Mostert, bro. That's like a Jamaican star track team, dog. You ain't, no matter the amount of speed you got, you ain't catching the boys. And then I'll talk about you got guys like Tyreek Hill who can actually run routes on top of that. You know what I mean? You got Devon Achane who can literally like catch out the backfield. He can run up in the middle. He can run outside. Raheem Mostert the same way. So their offense is so unique. It's very unfamiliar. You know what I mean? I think it'll be kind of hard to match the Dolphins aspect of offense than it is to kind of like match like what the Chiefs do or even what the Lions do, you know, the better offensive teams out there in the league right now, just based on how unhuman type of speed they got on that squad. It's fucking crazy. But the Bengals, I said, going back to the Bengals Seahawks, I was actually impressed with the Seahawks even after the loss. I know Geno wasn't like playing his greatest game, but to go on the road against Joe Burrow team and really have a chance to win that game, a game that honestly they should have won. You know, they're 4-2 now. 4-2.
Yeah.
They're still respectable. I think with the sense of I'm sure we'll talk about with the Niners losing, you know, they're still in the sense of hunt with that division. I think that division is honestly really good, man. Even with the Cardinals being 1-4, man, they're a chippy ass team, dog. Like you're not gonna just blow them over. Like no matter what, Josh Jobs, bro, you got a job permanently in the NFL. Whether I think he should get a chance to be a starter, like you know what I mean. I really do.
Yeah,
Like I think if you put some
yeah,
talent around Joshua Dobbs, I think he could be a legitimate quarterback. Like
I
right
do
now,
too.
if you put Joshua Dobbs on the Jets, I think the Jets look way different than what Zach.
Yeah,
I know we said some things about Zach Wilson. You know, look like he getting better, but Zach Wilson, I'm there. Zach Wilson is just Zach Wilson, bro. There's
yeah.
too many other quarterbacks you got a chance to that could take the Jets over the hump. I know we haven't gotten to that game yet, so I don't want to say too much, but you know, yeah, Seahawks, they're cool.
Yeah. We can go and go to the 49ers and Browns. Um, they had a chance to still win the game. They had some injuries. Now we saw this is one of the things I wanted to see. What would Brock Purdy look like when the team is not ahead, when he has to, see some adversity, somebody
Mm-hmm.
gets hurt, you know what I'm saying? CMC went down, Debo went down, I think Trent Williams went down. So and I still think that they have enough weapons for them to pull out the win, especially with no. I say what you want about Deshaun Watson, but still, he's the starting quarterback over there on Cleveland, and he's better than whatever's put out there right now. But they still had a chance to win the game. The kicker just missed the kick, but they did miss. They saw some, and kudos to Cleveland Browns defense. Both of us have said that Cleveland Brown defense is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They got some guys over there. That secondary is really nice with Ward and Juan Thornhill, and then you got Miles Garrett and Zadarius Smith on the edge. Like they got some guys over there. So it was a defensive fight, and unfortunately, 49ers missed the field goal. So Browns took the dub. That doesn't change my outlook on the 49ers. My thought was always with the 49ers. Yes, they always look good. September, October. Will they be healthy in December and January? That's my only thing about the 49ers. They always look like world beaters. They always look like the best team in the league and nobody can really mess with them.
Right.
But can they stay healthy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's always an injury with the 49ers that just wipes them out of the playoffs, or they lose the playoffs, or they don't make it to the Super Bowl, whatever. The year that they went against my Chiefs, they were all healthy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and they probably should have won. I'm not gonna sit there and say they should have probably beat us in the Super Bowl, but still,
I
health. That's the only thing with the Niners. Can they be healthy when it
I think
matters?
I think a lot of it has to do with how physical they play. They're a physical team, so
They're very physical team.
you're gonna get beat up. Like Debo, he had a shoulder injury. I think Christian McCaffrey had an oblique, and I think Trent Richardson was an ankle, I believe. I don't think they're serious injuries, but overall, I think they have a bye week coming up soon, so I think they'll be all right. Like Brock Purdy showed me a lot on the last drive. Moody should have made that fucking field goal. That's on him. Say what you want about kickers, but he should have made that. I saw a stat. I think I saw it on ESPN or something where I think the Browns defense has given up the least amount of yards the first half of the year since like 1971. I think they're on pace to be like
one of the best defenses.
The Ravens at this point. You know what I mean?
Their defense is nice, man.
Yeah. So they got to figure out what's going on with Deshaun, man. Like
they said his throwing on rotator cuff is like not good, so it's hard for him to throw the football with like velocity. So
I hear you, but I just think it's weird in the sense that they went from it's not that bad, he'll be back the next week, to now it's like DEFCON 5. We don't know if he needs surgery or not. You know what I mean? I just think it's a little weird going on, especially with Deshaun. And then on top of that, you had the Nick Chubb injury a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, the Browns, they're going to be in there. With that defense, man, they just need to get some surefire solidation on that quarterback position, man.
If the Browns can score,
if they can score
24 points a game, they could win. They have a chance to win every game.
100%. If they can score 21, they have a chance to win every goddamn game.
Every single game. So
that was like the Broncos last year. All they needed to do was just score 20 points. 18.
It was like,
and they would have been the best. They would have been the best team in the league. So
right. So the Eagles, they end up losing to the Jets. That Jets defense is legit. Another defense that's legit. Say what you want about their offense and Zach Wilson. That defense is real, and they ain't even have Sauce in this
Nah,
game. He was out. So
nah,
that
yeah,
lets you know how real they are. You know what I'm saying? That defensive
yeah,
line is real in that secondary. Them linebackers is good. Like that defense is real. They won them in that game because Wilson didn't really do a lot. You know what I'm saying? He did enough.
nah,
He
nah.
did enough. And then this was one of the bad Jalen Hurts games this season. So
Hmm. Yeah,
he
nah,
threw
we,
some he threw
nah,
some
nah.
questionable picks in this game. So
Yeah, nah. Sorry to cut you off on that. But
mm,
nah, yeah. I was watching Dan Orlovsky talk about it. Just kind of like the constant pressure on Jalen Hurts just kind of broke him down. Like the same kind of reads he was doing in quarter one, he wasn't doing the same in 3 and 4. You know what I mean? He was speeding up his clock. You
right.
know what I mean? So you kind of saw that in a sense. I think that Lane Johnson injury on the O line kind of hurt a little bit. As I said, I think they're getting a little bit. I remember seeing another stat where they were kind of saying like AJ Brown has like 50% of the yardage for the receivers, and I think that's kind of crazy too. I think they're going a little, ever since AJ Brown had that little temper tantrum, bro. I think Jalen Hurts is trying to force feed him the ball, and then he kind of AJ Brown kind of did some things where he seemed like he's kind of showing up his quarterback again. AJ Brown needs to just
Chill
just
out.
chill out, bro.
You could be
Like
on the
you
Titans still.
facts,
Yeah.
my guy. Like at the end of the day, like there is another guy that works just as hard as you, that is just as talented as you, just not as big. And Devontae Smith, and he need to get the rock too. You got Dallas Goedert, you got weapons across that, the DeAndre Swifts and all that, the Gainwells, like you got talent all across that board. They need to stop force feeding AJ Brown. I think if AJ Brown just lets the offense be the offense, he's
He'll
still
get
get
his
100
touches.
yards. He'll still
He'll
get
get
100
his
yards.
touches.
You know what I mean?
You'll get your touches.
He'll get less double teams and all that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, they need to. I get it. They have a new offensive coordinator, so I think it's in the sense of like Jalen Hurts is probably more comfortable with the old offensive coordinator. He's started trying to get adjusted to the new offensive coordinator, and then the offensive coordinator is still trying to get adjusted to, you know, how to get the flow of the game right with this team. You know what I mean? They had everything such on pinpoint last year where Jalen Hurts, I think he in the Super Bowl, he looked better than Patrick Mahomes. He just did. You know what I mean? No matter what Patrick Mahomes did in that second half, Jalen Hurts was really amazing in that game.
He was.
And I think the Eagles will be fine. I'm not really worried about this team. It does say a lot about the Jets. The Jets are still have a chance. I think they need to start really looking into trading for some of these quarterbacks, man.
Your boy telling you he coming back.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's showing me all these clips about him throwing the goddamn pass on the sideline, and I get it. Like, I remember Greeny was talking to Damian Woody, and Damian Woody was like, I think it's 36 days in, he was still in the cast. So he is making remarkable progress, but he ain't coming back anytime soon. Like, I think the earliest he'll come back is a chance if they make it to the wild card. A chance. And to me, that's still a small percentage of chance. Like, he has to have no setbacks, no tweaks, no nothing on that Achilles, because he has a chance to, like, if he comes back too early, like do permanent damage to his fucking foot and ankle and Achilles, and he'll be done with his career. And I don't think he wants to retire anytime soon. And I think they need to play it smart. As I said, like there are so many credible quarterbacks out there. Now you could have had the likes of a Gardner Minshew, but it looks like Anthony Richardson might be out for the whole year with the shoulder injury. You can't get Joshua Dobbs. They're not going to get rid of Joshua Dobbs unless they really want to just tank for Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? But I think they should be open to it. My boy Jimmy G is available. You can go get him too.
He hurt right now.
Man, he got a back stiffy, bro. He got it, bro. He got it.
All right, and then before we get to our teams, the Lions, they just racking up wins, man. Quietly racking up wins, man. They just winning right now. And what's better about them this year than what they were last year is they're better on the road. You know what I'm saying? They got road wins this year. You know what I'm saying? To go to Arrowhead and win that game, regardless of the circumstances, they won. They beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. They just beat Buccaneers, and say what you want about Tampa Bay. It's not easy going on the road and winning against Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think they got one other road. I forgot the other road win they got. But,
Chiefs,
that's what I said. I said the first one, then they had the Buccaneers, and that they have another road win. I forgot who. But I think it's Atlanta.
Packers. It was the Packers.
Was it Packers? Yeah, Packers. Yeah, Packers.
Thursday night game.
So, to go in Lambeau Field, and win. I don't care who's the quarterback. Easy.
They
So
dominated that game too.
yeah, they did.
Mhm.
So start watching Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I know we talk about 40. We just talking strictly NFC. Talk about 49ers. Talk about the Eagles because those are the two type teams in the NFC. Lions is right there.
No, yeah, and they got quality wins too. As I said, they went on the road and beat your Chiefs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yes.
They beat the Bucks, and I said them creamsicle jerseys were muy caliente, boy. Except for that gay Buccaneer dude just always bothers me on the fucking helmet. But overall, them jerseys is fire. But yeah, no, Lions, they're good. They just need to try to keep the running backs healthy, man. You know,
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs is hurt. You know, David
Montgomery is
Montgomery
hurt.
got hurt. I don't know how bad his injury is. Overall, if they can stay healthy, man, that defense is good. I think they're missing one piece on that defense. If they can trade for like a cornerback or something, like a shutdown, maybe like a Patrick Surtain or something, I think they have a legit chance to that they can go blow for blow with the Niners, man. I really do. Or the
Yeah.
Eagles, or the Eagles.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's start. Let's get on our teams, man. I'll start with mine. Um,
Please.
played on Thursday. Played the Broncos. Um, hey, from the 20s to the 20s, we can move the football. We just couldn't get in the goddamn end zone. Um, but I'm gonna say this, and Chiefs fans can vouch for this. The way the way Andy Reid play calls against a team is the way he really feels. Like all that in the beginning of the week
Yeah.
press conference shit, like,
Yeah.
oh, they're a good team. We look forward to the privilege of playing such and such, whatever. The way he play calls against you is the way he really feels about you.
100%.
This man did a Kadarius Tony flea flicker. This man did Kadarius Tony read options, which come on, Kadarius. Kadarius twice called his own number. Like, I'm throwing this football and I'm taking this read option and I'm running 40 yards, which
Nah, yeah.
it was a negative too, because if he gives it to Pacheco, it's a first down. It was 3rd and 1. He just give
Yeah.
it to Pacheco.
Yeah.
It's a first down.
Mhm.
It wasn't. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like our offense wasn't struggling. It was a struggle, like I said, in the red zone. Um, Kelsey looked like Kelsey. I will give him that. But Denver was playing so soft in the zones. They was just like,
Olay.
Kelsey, have
Olay.
whatever you want, buddy.
Nah, yeah, for real. For real.
But at the end of the day, it's a turnaround game. I was just happy to get out there with W. We got 10 days. We play the Chargers. Hopefully, it does suck that receiver Justin Watson went down with dislocated elbow. But hopefully, this is more opportunities for Justin Ross. Hopefully we can get him in the game. I like what I saw from Rashee Rice. You know what I'm saying? When they gave him the ball, he shows a burst. When you give him the ball, he can make things happen. He's not no speed guy where he can run past you, but you can get you down 20, 30 yards. He got a nice little burst. So
Mhm.
hopefully they get him more involved in the game, and then everybody else just falling. I'm so over MVS. Can we get rid of MVS? Like, what does he do? He does nothing. He's out there running cardio. That's what he put a Fitbit on MVS because that's all he do is run cardio. He just
Mhm.
run deep right. He got 2 routes he can run: the deep over and the 9 route. That's it.
Yeah.
And Justin
Yeah.
Watson is better than him in that. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I posed this question on my podcast, and it caused the ruckus with my guys. But I said, "Who's the leader in this room? We ain't got no wide receiver leader. When Tyreek, it was Tyreek Hill. He was a leader in that room because production makes you. You know what I'm saying? When you can produce and you got the respect of your peers, they respect your words. Ain't no voice in here. The best receiver on our team is the rookie.
Look. At the end of the day, you know me, bro. It's that receiving core, bro. As I said, I'm still not impressed. It looked like you got a whole bunch of 2s and 3s. You got no one. You got no one.
And
You guys really don't. And
and
it's
I,
just
and I'm not tripping. I just want somebody to step up and just be able to play off of Kelsey. That's it.
I
Can
don't
I get
think
somebody to play off of Kelsey?
I
That's
don't
it.
think you got that guy though. I
I
really just
think I
don't think you
think
got the
Rasheed Rice
guy.
can be there. He keeps stacking up every
He
game.
don't
I
look
think
like it, man.
I do. I've seen when they give him the ball, he makes stuff happen with it.
Look, man, look. I get it. You got belief in your boys, man. But I'm gonna call a spade, man. We have not seen it all year. You know what I mean? I gotta be one of those guys where I gotta see it to believe it at this point consistently. Don't give me one good game where he has like 100 yards. Like I need to see consistently. Your offense looks bland as shit right now. Even with Mahomes and even with Travis Kelce, it looks bland. It really does. Like it doesn't. You guys get no separation. The defense is really your savior at this point, man. It really is. Your defense look top 5.
Get Charles Minnie back, baby.
You know what I mean? Your defense look top 5, man. I haven't seen y'all reports about Frank Clark coming back to y'all. So you mean like no matter how you may feel about him, that's straight. It strengthens that defensive line.
I know what I said in the past about Frank Clark.
Oh,
I said Frank. No, listen to me. I meant what I said when I said Frank Clark don't mean nothing in the regular season. He don't. Chiefs fans will tell you that. In the regular season, it's like whatever. But playoff Frank Clark, let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go.
I said, man, it's a win. Y'all haven't really played nobody this year, man. The only team y'all really played, y'all lost. So I gotta see again who y'all go against here. When y'all play a really good team.
When we go to Germany and play Miami.
But do you even count that? It's like overseas. Like,
but it's still a team. So now we're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not moving the goalposts.
So now we even beat them. It's like, y'all played them in Germany.
No, I'm just saying it. Look. Come on now. Let's call it spade a spade. Any of these Germany, European games, they're not up to par what they should be. Like this game should be Miami in Kansas City for a primetime game. Tyreek Hill against Kansas City. I want to see that. That's what I don't want to see this shit, and I don't want to see this shit at 6 a.m. in Germany doing Dutch skips. I don't want to see that, dog. I don't want to see that, bro. Like I'm saying, man.
I hear you. I'm not discounting that, but you asked. That's probably the best team. Look, say what you want about the Chargers offensively. They can pose problems to it. We're gonna see how
y'all play them this week. Y'all play them this coming week, right?
We're gonna see how real our defense.
See how their real defense is. Yeah, for sure.
Because
I think Austin Eckler might be back that game too.
Yeah. I think he's back tonight.
Okay.
But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a test for our defense when we play the Chargers next week. Say what you want about the Chargers, but you know, offensively they're good. Defensively they're terrible, especially in the secondary. But so yeah. But like I said, Miami, and then after that, it's the bye week, and then that's when we get to the teams because we got the Eagles, the Bills, the Bengals, you know, that team, those teams. So we'll see.
We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. I guess we can get to my Raiders now.
Got staggering wins, baby. 2 in a row.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you, Doug. I don't know whether we won. What was it? 13-17. I forgot the score. We won. Jimmy G got hurt again. Can't throw deep ball. Whatever. These are for my Raider fans, dog. I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm a Raider fan, diehard Raider fan. I am happy we won. But I'm not going to sit here and be delusional and shit. That's another win. We are further away from getting Caleb Williams. That's another win. We are further away from Drake May. If you guys want to sit here and be fools and think that we are the next up-and-coming team, we are not. Our defense is – look, I love the way Max Crosby is looking. But let's call a spade a spade. Our defense has played 2 of the worst offenses in the league. And they literally gave us both games. Our offense barely scores 14 points. I think this is the first time in the whole year we scored 20 points or something like that. Like, our offensive running game can't do nothing. Our offensive line is still terrible. We don't play Hunter Renfrow. We continuously play Trey Tucker, which we have a quarterback that can't get him the ball. Devontae Adams is damn near getting his head taken off every single week. Like, I'm surprised boy has not literally like cussed out the quarterback yet for putting him in harm's way. This is like the 3rd, 4th time in this year this man has got put in a position to get his head taken off. Like, look, we are 3-3. I'm surprised we are 3-3. The way our schedule, we play the Bears next week, and we're probably not going to be playing Justin Fields. We'll probably be playing, I don't know a homie's name that backs him up. So we'll probably win again next week too. But come on, guys. Let's look. I'm always gonna be happy about us getting a win, but let's not sit here and be delusional. We're pretty much playing to be mediocre again. to have a bad draft pick, not be able to get any of these top quarterbacks, another year of Josh McDaniels and Mark Davis making an excuse to keep Josh McDaniels, making him believe that we're on this right track when we're not. You know, you got our head coach literally saying that his main predication to the offense is to be able to throw the deep ball. But yet he chose to get a quarterback that can't throw deep. Now, there are reports of us having, which I talked about earlier, where C.J. Stroud was a target for them in the draft this past year. They decided not to go all the way in and throw in another first-round pick or whatever. They could have thrown in Hunter Renfrow because they don't even use Hunter Renfrow. You know what I mean? So I said I'm feeling different about this win. I said I will always be happy to see a win, but I'm not going to be sitting here and say I'm fucking thrilled because I really believe we need the fucking tank. I really believe we need to get it. We need to have a resolution at quarterback, which we don't. We need to have a resolution at quarterback, which we don't. I'm not quarterback, but the head coach, which we don't. We need a resolution at our defensive side, which we don't. Our defense is not great, people. We just play terrible ass teams. Let's call it spade, bro. The Patriots are trash. The Steelers' offense is trash. You know what I mean? Like, we can't and then we have certain Raider fans that are super excited about this shit. I'm like, what are you excited for? We look terrible. We just winning terrible. You know what I mean? Wait till we play the goddamn Chiefs. Wait till we play the fucking Detroit Lions in Detroit. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think? Like, I'm happy that our players are experiencing wins. I'm happy Josh Jacobs is experiencing wins. I'm happy Devontae Adams is experiencing wins while trying not to get his head taken off. I'm happy Max Crosby made the sack to win the game because he deserves that shit. He puts mad work in. This is not about the players. This is about the organization. Tell me what we're winning to go towards to. We're not making the playoffs, people. So eliminate that from your head. We're not making the playoffs with the way our offense is looking right now. We're losing valuable draft right now because every win that we make and we get, we farther further and further and further away to getting players that can help us start changing our trajectory as an organization. The more that we win, the more it's going to give Mark Davis an excuse to keep Josh McDaniels, to keep Patrick Graham. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. This shit pisses me off. Like, open your eyes, Raider Nation. This isn't a great thing. This is not. We're not blowing these teams out. If we blew out these last two couple teams, I'll be like, all right, cool. Our offense looks like it's going good. Josh Jacobs looks like it's going good. And we look like a competent team. Chris, I'm going to ask you, even after these wins, where would you have us?
In the AFC?
Yes. Bottom tier, wouldn't you?
No, I have you middle of the pack.
We're not in the middle of the pack.
Because there's a lot of mediocrity in the AFC, bro. Like,
but we're not even mediocre. But see, here's the problem. You're saying we're mediocre based on record, but I'm looking at the actual play. We're not.
That's
a
what I'm
mediocre
saying.
team.
Like,
we're
even
a bottom
playing,
of the road team. We're
look at the AFC
team.
really. Like,
we're a bottom tier team. We are a bottom tier team, people. Right? It's just the fact that there's so many ass teams out there that we're mediocre. We're doing. Look, we can't even be bad great. We can't. In the most important draft in the last 10 years, we are deciding that being a terrible, mediocre team is something to clap about. Are we fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, I'm cussing. Mom, I'm sorry. I apologize. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. It's just the fact that the Bears are terrible. The fucking who am I missing? The Panthers are terrible. The Commanders are terrible. The Falcons are terrible. The Saints are terrible. What else am I missing? I know the Titans are terrible. I know I'm missing teams. The 1-4 Cardinals are like, they look respectable. They just don't have any talent to win. But look at that team. That team fights every single game against real competition. Yeah. We're fighting against terrible teams, and we're barely pulling these out. We shouldn't have even won against the Steelers. Let's call it spade a spade. We shouldn't have won against the Steelers. If Devontae Parker makes that catch on the edge, I'm pretty sure they can kick a field goal and win that game. Come on, man. Raiders, please wake up. Like I said, I'm always happy that we get wins, but let's put things in perspective. We are not winning towards anything but to be the same team next year. And that's my 4th rant of the year. Congratulations.
Well,
yeah, man, jeez.
y'all gonna be all right, man. You gonna look. I say this. Okay, let's say y'all don't make the playoffs, but y'all middle of the pack. Y'all like 9-8, whatever. I say y'all go get Kyler Murray, man.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind Kyler Murray. I really wouldn't. But here's the thing: you still got that Josh McDaniels problem. You still got that Josh McDaniels problem. And I'm like, you put Kyler Murray with Josh McDaniels, it smells like bad. It smells like bad. I think Kyler Murray needs to be in a kind of like system like a Mike Tomlin. I think he needs to be around a head coach like that. I think Kyler Murray with Sean Payton would be great. You know what I mean? I think if anything happened to Matthew Stafford with Sean McVay, I think that would be great. You know what I mean? Even with it's like, come on, man. Josh McDaniels is the major problem here. He really is. Like, it's no matter what you do, you still have the Josh McDaniels effect. Like, you can't sit here and make this up, man. He's nothing positive about having him be our head coach. It's just nothing. He does nothing well. The thing we hired you for to do, you made worse. Our offense used to be respectable. People used to fear our offense a little bit. Now you turn it into like we can barely score 14 points. So you're supposed to be the offensive guru that helped the Patriots win all these Super Bowls with Tom Brady. The moment you don't get Tom Brady, you can't even have an offense that scores more than 14 points. So, like, come on, man. Like, come on. Raiders, wake up. Raider Nation, wake up. Don't cheer for, you want to cheer for the win, good. Cheer for the players. But realize this. The more we win, the more we're going to keep Josh McDaniels. And the more we're going to go through the same thing again next year. And I'm done talking about the Raiders. At least this week.
Who y'all play next?
We play the Bears in Chicago.
Oh, that's a dub, baby. Y'all
Okay. Yeah. Against a backup quarterback, we should win that by like 20 points. Watch what's going to happen. And you know what? I'm going to FaceTime you with that look. What's the
name? Dude name?
I don't even know homie's name.
Taggart, Targent.
I don't know his
Detergent.
name. I don't know the backup quarterback's name.
They ain't trying to disrespect your name, brother.
I don't know the backup quarterback's name, but watch what's going to happen. That's a game we should easily win by 20. I don't care if it is on the road. I don't care. I think they got us favored by 3, which is a shock, but let's just see. Let's just see what's up. I said this is not, me ranting about this is not about the players, bro. It's more about the head coach and the offense and the front office for me. So,
what did we have winning tonight's game? Then we picked.
We all me and you had the Chargers and Showtime had the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. I want the Chargers to win because I want them to be amped up when they play us. I don't want them to be like,
I think it'll be a good game. I think
I do think it's good.
I think it's going to tell a lot.
It's high scoring.
I think at the end of the day, I think the Cowboys really need to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
They really do, because if you lose, I think they go down to 3-3.
They do.
And with
this is a perfect opportunity to win with the Eagles losing and the 49ers losing. So
yeah, for sure. You need to make up ground. So if you lose, I think it's just going to make it even more harder for Dak Prescott. I was seeing some things where there's like even a Dallas Cowboys radio station talking about it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to get hurt and see the backup, like some wild shit. Yeah, I just saw that get posted like not too long ago. So yeah. So
calling for the players, I don't care how bad the players.
No, that's trash.
That's nasty.
That's nasty work. So
nasty.
Yeah. Do better. Come on, y'all gotta do better, for sure. But you just gonna hear more of that, man. If they lose.